Coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all. Started out with a kiss, so did it end up like this? It was only a kiss, it was only a kiss. Now I'm falling asleep and she's calling a cab while he's having a smoke and she's taking a drag. Now they're going to bed and my stomach is sick and it's all in my head, but she's touching his chest. Now he takes off her dress. Now let me go. I just can't look, it's killing me and taking control. Jealousy, turning saints into the sea, swimming through sick lullabies, choking on your alibis. But it's just the price I pay. Destiny is calling me. Open up my eager eyes, 'cause I'm Mr. Brightside. I'm coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all. Started out with a kiss, how did it end up like this? It was only a kiss, it was only a kiss. Now I'm falling asleep and she's calling a cab while he's having a smoke and she's taking a drag. Now they're going to bed and my stomach is sick and it's all in my head, but she's touching his chest. Now he takes off her dress. Now let me go. I just can't look, it's killing me and taking control. Jealousy, turning saints into the sea, swimming through sick lullabies, choking on your alibis. But it's just the price I pay. Destiny is calling me. Open up my eager eyes, 'cause I'm Mr. Brightside. I never that was Mr. Brightside by The Killers. It was a cover song. Woo! Oh man. Oddly enough, this song has given me more trouble than I expected. It's written, like, the lyrics are so much different style-wise than I would write, and for some reason it's just not connected with my head very well. But it's fun. It's crazy. It's like, so I play the guitar. This is the same styling that I do. Obviously, well, not obviously, but it is. And but I typically write a lot different singing style than Mr. Flowers did here. And man, it just threw me for a loop. But anyway, so I don't know. I thought it was kind of interesting. So I keep it on 4 here for this version. But 2 nights ago, I was watching their music video because I knew a while ago I wanted to do this song. Honestly, because they're from Las Vegas and it goes along with the story I'm about to tell you. But well, after I tell you how the song cover writing came about, I guess. So I figured out through listening to their and watching, I guess, but listening to their music video, starring Eric Roberts, by the way, that how to play the main guitar riff, the real famous guitar riff for it, and I did that, and then I figured out the bass line actually for the rest of the song to play it, like an acoustic style. I figured out the bass line and I figured out the chords I was going to do for it at first, and then I realized, well, so it kind of started up here, so I wanted to do it my style instead of just a straight cover. It seemed more fun for me, I guess. I don't know, more of a challenge maybe. I don't know what it was, but I decided to do just, instead of a straight cover, I was going to Johnny stylize it, I guess. So it was this at first, that kind of thing. right? So that's kind of, that follows their thing. I mean, a bit. It's just the first couple notes. And then I realized that, you know, I wanted to figure out where to sing it. So at first, I capoed it here on 3, right? Which then puts it up here. And literally last night, I was in this very car here, and I was singing for an hour and a half and playing guitar and trying to figure it out. Like, I was filming it, to be honest with you, and I filmed it all the way through, but it just didn't feel correct to me for some reason. I don't know why. There's something just didn't feel right to me, and it kind of frustrated me a bit, to be honest. So after an hour and a half, I decided to go back inside my house over here that I was born at, which is over there, and kind of put it away for a bit, and, you know, do something else for a little while. It was like, yeah, it was pretty late at night, honestly. And then right before I was going to go to sleep, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pick up my guitar, and I'm going to just, on a hunch I just took my capo and moved it up a fret to 4 and started playing up here. And then on my trusty phone here, I recorded just a demo of it. Just a simple, quick. Just to get a feel for it, right? And taking control. Anyway, so I loved it. I was like, oh my gosh, I figured it out. And I slept like a rock after that. It was great. And I drove around today and sang it in my car. And then I'm like, you know what? That's right. That's the correct thing. So I came up with my own version of it. These little chords are neat. Don't know what the heck they are, but they sound cool. So it's kind of a me version of The Killer's Mr. Brightside, and I really enjoy it. I like it a lot. I'll probably, I might actually put it in like a set or something. I really like playing it. It's just such a weird way, like the singing, I think it's just really wordy or something, like real quick words. And I'm used to playing really fast things like this, but singing less words, slower words, whatever you want to call it. So it's throwing me off. Anyway, enough of that. So the whole reason I did this song, was because of a trip I took when I was either 22 or 23. I can't remember exactly which it was. Which, to date myself, is either 19 or 20 years ago, by the way. But it was it was interesting. And again, since the Killers are from Vegas, this story is about Vegas. It is my $1 million story. So once upon a time, back in Southern California, I had a friend. He lives elsewhere now, and so do I. I had a friend named Ruben, and he had his college girlfriend's name was Natalie. Very nice people. I grew up with Ruben. Well, I went to high school with Ruben, and we were like best friends for, gosh, like 8 years, whatever. And for whatever reason, I don't even remember why, but he and she were going to Vegas. I think her parents had invited Ruben and her out to Vegas, and for whatever reason they invited me along as well. I don't remember why, but you know, trip to Vegas sounds good to me. This is honestly, well, not honestly, but this was before I drank, by the way, so I wasn't gonna drink there, but I did play a lot of poker back then. So in context, it was just about the when the poker boom was going on, like I think it was like 2003 when Chris Moneymaker won the World Series of Poker, and then Greg Raymer won the year after, so everyone had jumped on that bandwagon, and I was definitely one of them. And at that point, I was kind of good at poker. I haven't played for a while, but I used to play online poker and then tournaments, and I went to casinos and played. One of my friends who now lives in Vegas, he doesn't play poker, I don't think, anymore, but he was insanely good. His name's Eric. Eric, if you ever see this, you were far better than I ever was. I mean, you knew it, but still, I'll give you credit. I think he basically could have gone professional if he wanted to. Anyway, so I was pretty decent for a while there, and so in Vegas, my whole thing was to play poker. That's what I did. I didn't drink, and I was a super naive 22 or 23-year-old kid at that time. Me and Ruben decided to go to the Flamingo casino, hotel, whatever, to play some poker. And we sat down and didn't think much of it. I sat on this side of the table. Ruben sat on the other side of the table. And then there were people between. And again, me being the naive idiot that I was at the time, just was playing poker. And there was a guy to my right. And all of a sudden he started like asking me if I would like some drinks. And I didn't. I wouldn't have, honestly. I wouldn't have taken them anyway. But it wasn't like he was giving me random drinks. It was like bartenders and stuff. But I'm like, no, thanks, I'm good. And he kept trying to give me shots and whatever. Didn't think much of that. And then as he started drinking, I guess I'm assuming he started getting a little bolder. And then he asked me if I'd go with him to his room. I am a straight male. I figure anyone's sexuality is none of my business. So it just threw me off a bit. But I kindly said, "Oh, no, I'm good, thanks, man. Whatever. I'm not gonna be an asshole to anybody." So I just sat there and kept playing poker. To be honest with you, me being the naive idiot that I was, I started shaking because I was like nervous at that point. It was freaking me out. But I was still playing at the table, and he wasn't being a jerk about it or anything. And then the game kept going, and then he the conversation around the table kept going, and it kind of escalated a little bit. Then he said, "I'll give you $10,000 if you come with me in my room right now." And I was like, "What?" And a guy across the table who was sitting somewhat close to Ruben, but like 2 people over, said, "I'll double it if I can join." And I was like freaking out at this point, like, no, thanks, guys, I'm good, thank you. But at that point, I was honestly a little bit down in chips at the table. It was just a table game, so you sit down with whatever amount of money the buy-in might be, and then you can leave whenever you want. It's not like a tournament where you have to stay till the end of a tournament game. It's just a sit-down table, go, not sit and go, it's a tournament. It's just a table game, whatever. But I was down a little bit. I wanted to get back to at least even and, keep playing. So then he kept pressing it a bit. But again, I was like, no, thanks, I'm good. Appreciate the offer, but nah. And then I somehow was coming back. Then the dude offered me $1 million, and he told me his name. I was gonna say it, actually. I realized I've been changing my mind. I'm not gonna say his name. He gave me his name. He was a lawyer, I can tell you that. And he lived in a city in Texas. I'm not gonna say the city because it may be too easy to find out who this person is if I do. But a lawyer in Texas offered me $1 million, and he proved who he was. He proved he had a lot of money. And I don't know if you've ever seen Indecent Proposal, but it felt a lot like that, I think. And then I was like, I'm just sitting there really quiet, shaking, because it's like really unnerving. But again, I was being real nice. He wasn't being a jerk. He just was offering me things and asking for things that I was not willing to do. And then somehow I got one of the only 4 of a kinds I've ever gotten in my entire life. I got 4 6s, which got me back up to over the top of where I wanted to be in terms of money in the game. And I literally sat maybe for 2 more hands, didn't play a thing. I was literally just sitting there going, what in the world is going on? My buddy Ruben across the table, by the way, had no clue. It wasn't loud enough for him to hear. It was only loud enough for the guy to his right, and then there was another, the dude who had offered to double it at $10,000, and then there was a older guy to my left and his son, who was probably around my age, honestly, to his left, and they all heard it. They were just like going, what the heck's going on here? But anyway, so I literally just sat those 2 hands to be I don't know, to be nice, I guess, and then got up, and the guy was like, "Can I at least give you my card and my email address?" And I was like, yeah, sure, of course, man, whatever. And he did. He gave me his card, his business card, and had his email address on the front of it. I think he wrote something on it too. I think he might have written his phone number or something. And I just left. And I waited for the 2 minutes, because Ruben didn't really care about poker. He was just hanging out because I was hanging out. And then he just ended up leaving a little bit later. And he's like, we got around the corner of, there's a corner past the tables. And I didn't want to be a jerk in front of this dude, because what I did is once I got around the corner, I crumpled up the card and actually threw it in the trash can there. And then Natalie and Ruben were like, "What is going on, man? What's wrong with you?" I'm like, I told them the whole story, and they're like, "No way." I'm like, "Yeah." And Ruben was like, "I thought something weird was going on, but he couldn't tell exactly what it was. He thought I was just doing. He thought I just had really good hands in poker, and I had terrible tells, I guess." But yeah. So that dude offered me $1 million. That is my $1 million Vegas story. When I was 22 or 23 years old. Again, to each their own. Just wasn't for me. I mean, in a way, it's kind of flattering, I guess. But it just, again, me being the naive kid I was, it threw me off big time, and I was like, oh my gosh. But the funniest part to me is that was, gosh, it might have been like October. I can't remember what month it was, but my next birthday, Natalie and Ruben were still dating, and their birthday present to me was a frame, a picture frame, right? In that picture frame was that damn card. I don't know when they did it, but they went back at some point when we were walking away. And, oh, great. So, as is tradition now, my camera almost overheated, so it shut itself down. So I'm going to leave that whole thing in there when I say, oh my gosh, because I think it's kind of funny. But, I mean, in my camera's defense, I was filming things for about an hour and a half, so, you know, more power to it. It gets hot in this car. But, anyway, to finish that story, the 20-year-old story now, I guess, I don't know when they did it or which one of them did it, but back when I threw the card in the trash around the corner away from the table, so as to not, hurt anybody's feelings, honestly, either Ruben or Natalie grabbed that card out of the trash can and framed it and gave it to me for my birthday the next year. And I had that card framed in my parents' house for years. I don't know where it is now. It may be in a box somewhere. It may have gotten thrown out. I honestly don't know. I mean, I had it for a very long time because it was just so funny that I don't know. It was a genius move by them that they got it out of the trash and they framed it for me, and gave it to me for my birthday, which was at least 6 months later, if not longer. So that was a heck of a long plan. And you know, it was because I crumpled it up, so they had flattened it out. It looked funny as heck. But so that's that story. That's my $1 million story, and it was something else for sure. I mean, I think one of my dumb moves was, okay. So at the time, I had a dog. Well, I love animals, but I had one of my favorite dogs. Was named Max. He was a little wiener dog, a little dachshund. Craziest little thing in the world. He barked at everything. He's like the size of a shoe. Tiny little miniature dachshund. He was a runt of the litter of miniature dachshunds, so you can imagine how small a darn thing was. But he had the attitude problem of me playing soccer and getting in fights with referees. But anyway, crazy little dog. But I wore a shirt that day because I had it. I didn't think anything of it. That said, "I love my wiener," and it had a picture of a dachshund on it. So I mean, kind of adding fuel to the fire, perhaps. But that was another funny little aside from that day. But yeah, that is the story of my first story of Vegas. Yeah. So thanks for watching this one. I hope you enjoyed the Killers cover song. I did. It's fun. I'm gonna keep playing it. I might put it in a set. I might do another recording. I might just record all the covers I do. Who knows? We'll see. But anyway, so now that this thing is not overheated anymore, enjoy your day, night, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. See you later.